13-month calendar has been one of the most detrimental things for humanity. Now, I'm going to encourage everyone to go and do your little research on the Gregorian calendar and where it came from, the Julian calendar, where that came from, and then do your research on the 13-month calendar. The 13-month calendar involves 28 days each. And if you know anything about the woman's menstrual cycle, you will know that it is 28 days in length. So ancient populations and groups of people were aligned with natural time. They were looking at the moon cycle. So there were 13 moons in a year. What has happened with the Gregorian calendar is that they have compressed it into 12 months in a year, and they've made these crazy number of days. Sometimes it's 29 days, sometimes it's 28 days, sometimes it's 30 days, sometimes it's 31. That calendar was designed to coincide with the industrial age, agrarian sector, and all sorts of other things that had to do with generating wealth and structuring a society that conforms to the time that they have set. What it means is that we are no longer aligned to natural time, to cosmic time.
It's just different.
I am the world changer, coded by the blue storm. My number is 19, the power of all number. I am the master alchemist, the force behind the philosopher's stone. Skilled at the art of transmutation. I am the catalytic transformer of world consciousness and planetary living. I oversee the changes of the weather. I am the thunder that shatters your world systems. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies, spies. It was I who caused the triple Aztec monuments of the Avatar archetype to appear in the ancient temple grounds. I oversee the morning and the evening stars. I behold the creator of the fifth sun, the present world. Sent forth am I to dwell among you, calling forth the sixth sun. For the great regeneration of the world's soul, to know me is to know your own power of self-generation. To know me is to know your own power of self-generation. Self-generation is power. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies, spies.
All right, greetings and in Lakesh. Welcome back to Sync Talk. We really enjoy doing these sessions on Wednesdays, and today's topic is accomplishing in difficult times. And I think we all could use a little bit of this. When times change, I want to talk about the different cycles and how you can predict the different times that are going to change, it's going to come, so we can prepare for what we're going to experience. And that's when things are not too difficult. But what makes difficult times more difficult is when you're ill prepared. You don't know there's going to be a lot of change. You don't know what blockages and deficiencies that you have when things get the hardest. Okay, so I want to talk about some of those things today. And before I do, I want to go ahead and bring us into some kind of alignment with the synchronic order and the vibration of the cosmic cycles that we follow. Of course, I am Neb Taharka Kanishkawak, and I am going to be the facilitator of this session. And we just have a lot of phenomenal things taking place right now that can really help us move forward. A lot of times people look at difficult times as a time that's going to set them back. I look at it as a time that's going to set us up. And it turns out to be what is your attitude and your disposition so that you can position yourself to win. Okay. The vision statement I want to share is that we have is to transcend our minds deep into our cosmic memory circuits as we awaken from a deep state of amnesia in order to move from the information age into the telepathic age of our existence and establish a new world of highly telepathic beings. That's what we're attempting to do here by tapping into some of the higher sciences and things that we talk about. A synchronistic human defined as someone who's able to be multidimensional while unifying energy from the synchronicities of natural time cycles towards the holonomic evolution of humanity, Mother Earth, and the galactic whole. Now that holonomic is a tongue twister. I didn't know that word when I first started this tapping in and learning about this information. And holonomic means that the law of holonomy means we are systems inside of larger systems energetically. So when we're talking about holonomic, we're talking about whole paradigms, whole systems. And a lot of times we're just operating from partials, right? But to evolve, we got to have access to the whole, right? So we can see what we're accessing now and become more holistic. And the more holistic we become, the more we can actually evolve and not just dream about it, wish about it, and imagine it, right? And and when you evolve, you see everything else evolves too. So it's really powerful concept when you delve into it. Who owns your time? Now, I should say your concept of time, because time is not a mechanical clock. It's not a calendar. In this sense, from a fourth dimensional perspective, time is the evolution of consciousness. Yeah. How much time do I got? How much time do I got to evolve this consciousness and watch what you create in this experience? It's amazing. Change your time and change your mind. Change your mind and you change your world. Because in your holographic world, you're going to see something. And I'm telling you, when we can accept that this is a holographic projection of mind, whose mind is it? Well, it may not be your mind if you're operating on a program. But once you move into a state of self-acceptance, that I am the source, I am the creator of my earthly destiny and my earthly experience, now you take ownership of not just what you're projecting, but how to change what you're projecting so you can experience what you want to experience, your heart's desires. Ashe? All right. So some of the key points, we're going to talk about the 4 C's, right? The 4 C's. You'll hear me talk about that. Attitude is everything, right? Overcoming adversity quickly is a key thing to do, important factor to have. And your spiritual system. These things will support you. Now, there's a ton of more things that I can think of how to accomplish in difficult times. But these are some major pillars that I found that if you don't have these things, the difficult can become catastrophic, right? And if the difficult can become easy because we're prepared, that is more of a easier passageway to get from A to B. But man, if we go that other route, like a lot of us will, just from waiting at the last minute, just from doing different things, it truly can be an uphill climb. It could be a scenario where you're climbing Mount Everest in penny loafers. You're going to be slipping and sliding everything, and your feet going to be tore up. You're only going to get so far that way. Okay, so let's get into it. I want to start with today's kin. We follow the 260 expressions of the Creator in the form of galactic kin. So if you hear us use that term, the consciousness, galactic consciousness, God consciousness, God, the galactic ordering dynamic, the order, the energy that order put the universe or the galaxy in order and created the dynamism with it, and we're part of that dynamism, right? So expression 227, the blue rhythmic hand, states, I organize in order to know, balancing healing. I seal the store of accomplishment with the rhythmic tone of equality. I am guided, right, by the store of accomplishment, my own power doubled. Now, what does this mean? Because I see some generalities here, and when I first started reading these affirmations, I was like, what context are they using this in? And so it was real interesting. So I organized. Now, what's being organized here? So when we're organizing, we're dealing with a few things. Now, I like to refer to the cycle we're evolving through. There's different ways you could do this, but we're evolving through the spirit cycle of evolution through evolutionary communications. Okay. And so we have to organize ourselves in order to be able to communicate on an evolutionary level so that we know evolution, and knowing is a lot synonymous with doing. Okay. But to do that, we have to balance what we accomplish and healing. I mean, just think about it. An athlete, they go to be successful, to accomplish a goal like Super Bowl, for example. They have to go and get the body rammed into, and they win a prize. They accomplish something, but they wreck their body in the process. So they have to balance the prize or the goal with healing. Does that make sense? So you balance healing, all right? And then now you can seal the store to remember, to put together, remembers to put back together the accomplishment with the rhythmic tone of equality. It requires you to equalize things, right? To get it balanced. And then we're guided by that store of accomplishment and remembering and equalizing things doubled. All right, one more time to lock it in. I organize in order to know, balancing healing. I seal the store of accomplishment with the rhythmic tone of equality. I am guided, right, by the store of accomplishment. My own power doubled. Now that's pretty empowering. Now I want you to compare that right now to, hey, it's Wednesday, it's hump day. Wednesday is hump day didn't tell me none of this. It didn't get my mind, my wheels turning. It didn't stimulate me to want to go beyond what I already knew. Now I'm not knocking Wednesday, but a lot of us have labeled Wednesday hump day, right? Everything is downhill, right, to Thursdays, and then fantastic Fridays, right? And then we living for the what? Weekend. I want to live for the strong end, right? So I'm trying to give you some psychology behind why this is so prominent. Because we want, and to build intelligence, we want to be able to get our wheels turning and get stimulated a certain kind of way so we can be motivated and focused, a way that we actually going to accomplish the objective. Okay, so this affirmation every day, right? There's an affirmation, right, that's linked to an expression of the Creator for us to ponder and consider in our meditations to see how we're going to orchestrate our life. Okay. I also want to read, there's a little passage about the archetype, the hand. All right. They call the avatar. I like to read this to you. Man, this is really fascinating. It's kind of deep when you look into it. So this is what it says. I am the avatar coded by the blue hand. By the power of 7, I move through your world, descending from the cosmic heights of the 7 heavens. Okay. I hold the keys to the 7 days of creation. So if I hold the keys to the 7 days of creation, then that means that I can go in there and create whatever I want to create. That's what that means, right? I am the accomplisher, the builder of forms. I am the constructor of worlds to come within the interdimensional architecture. I lay the path of knowledge for you to remember, to know, to heal, to accomplish. These words I beckon you to realize through all of your actions, for I am the keeper of the covenant, binding all knowledge for the healing of the world soul. The world could use some of that healing. The code is in my being, leaving divine clues with whomever I meet. My mission is to exemplify what others have not yet known. Woo-wee. My mission is to exemplify what others have not yet known. So, you know, when your children be like, I know. You don't know this, right? Not yet. You don't know. We want to be if you know this the way I'm talking about. Because I want to get you into the know. So you're ill-affected by change. All right. So I like that. That's called the avatar, right? And yeah, sometimes it's like feeling like it's like hearing it for the first time. So, hey, Ambrose, that's a nice statement you made. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And knowing that the time that we're in a new time. And so we can't be operating in old methodologies and old ways in the new time and in a new mind. All right. So the topic today, so now that we got that out the way, all right, and those of you that are further interested in the cosmology, you should be, because it's evolutionary. And you're going to hear me talk a lot about evolution is the solution. I don't care what it is. Reparations, evolution is the solution. Well, what about my health? Evolution is the solution. Well, my money is down right now, and I'm hoping that we get some rebates from what they found. Evolution is the solution to everything. So that's why it's my number one priority. And so everything is on hold until that is leading the ship. All right. So in accomplishing in difficult times, I want to cover a couple things with you that I think will change your life. I want to start with the 4 C's. All right. And so when you are in a difficult period with a lot of change. Now, I want to talk about change because back in the summer when we brought this in, we're in the year of the blue rhythmic storm, according to the Mayan and Olmec cosmology. Now, for those who are not familiar with the cosmology, you can kind of pick up on storm means, I'll tell you, transformation. It means a lot of change. And so the way you survive in a storm is you stay in the eye of the storm, according to the cosmology. If you get outside of that eye of the storm, you're going to get whipped around, flipped around. All this finance is going to be this way. Health is going to be this way. Relationships going to be that way. You're going to get turned upside down in every area of your life. So I knew, and we start this cycle every July 26th. So when we did our day out of time, I talked about, and those some of you might remember who have been with us that long, I talked about there's going to be a lot of change. And in this change, it's going to bring technology to influence us differently. So you got to have your screws in tight. You can't be just out here flying by the seat of your pants. That ain't going to work during this period. Right. So the storm brings a lot of change. It don't mean it's bad or good. Our own judgment puts that on there. What it means is this change. So how prepared are you for change? And so if everything is changing around you, you're going to have to change some things inside of you. And in changing things inside of you, you may have to change some of the businesses, professions, opportunities that you normally work with. So the first C is coachability. If you have to make a change, don't be a know-it-all and base everything in this new change based on the old knowledge. You want to be coachable to the new skill. You want to be coachable to the new opportunity, or whoever the expert, the subject matter expert in there, and learn everything that they can and achieve your results. And then if you say, hey, you know what? I think if I added this, now you coming from a standpoint of already achieving and accomplishing, now you can say, you know, I think if I would have added this to that process I already accomplished, I could have done it faster. Don't try to integrate what you think too soon, because you're trying to get up the learning curve fast enough so you can get results. See, something about accomplishing allows you to experience the results, and the results never lie. Results speak louder than words, and thinking too. Results are what they are. So coachability, you need to be coachable. Whatever you are going to do that's new because of all these changes, and you're going to find 80% of people are going to have to do some kind of change. They're not going to be working in their field of study. They're going to have to be flexible. They're going to have to do something different. And so you want to make sure that you're already inspired, you know your purpose, and that you can take that purpose to whatever you have to change into. Commitment. Commitment is very important because a lot of people are not committed to their commitment. They are committed, right, as long as it's easy. So when we make these decisions, we want to make sure that we're committed to our commitment. Once we make a decision and draw the line in the sand, we going all the way. Right? I don't care if it takes 5 years, 10 years, we're going all the way. That's how you got to be thinking. Okay? You got to be committed. You just can't be involved enough to see what happens. Well, let me see what happens. That's not commitment. A lot of people, well, let's see what happens. Why? You already know what's going to happen. You should have already had the vision. You already have the wherewithal. You already got the focus. And so you know that when you tapped into the vision, this is how I'm going to move through this process. So I'm committed to me moving through this process, and I'm going to overcome every adversity, difficulty, challenge that comes my way. You got to make that decision before you commit. And then once you commit, when it comes, you say, oh, yeah, I was waiting on you. Oh, I got to move. Okay, I'll waiting on that because I needed to be successful in another place anyway. Oh, okay, my bank account is low. Oh, okay, let me just show. I'm a double, triple, quadruple, what is the highest it's ever been, because I'm going to take myself to a whole nother level. That's what you're committed to. You're not committed to, oh, I don't feel good. You're not committed to, I don't know if this is going to work. No, it's going to work. It's just providing an illusion right now to see if you going to quit. And what do they say? A quitter will never win, and a winner will never quit. And let me tell you, winning is important in accomplishing in difficult times. It's all going to be up to you. All right, competency. You know, it's going to take more than excitement and enthusiasm for you to be successful. You got to be competent at what you do, right? Even if it's managing people who are competent at a skill that you benefit from, you're going to have some competency. So you're going to have some best practices. You're going to have an approach and a methodology in which you do things every time, over and over again. You got to master the mundane, right? Competency, right? Skill set, right? You're going to have to develop some skills. Now, what I see with a lot of people, especially that are maybe conscious or on their spiritual journey, they got the spiritual attitude, right? But they ain't got the skill set, aptitude to fulfill the vision. So you have to get those skills. You have to be able to humble yourself and say, hey, I'm not confident in this area. I need some training. I need some development in this area so I can become more competent. And then I'm going to knock it out the park. And it's okay to do that, right? Don't just rely on Chat GPT to do everything for you, because everybody's doing that. So what's going to differentiate you is your ability and your critical thinking skills and your ability to customize the approach and the skill set. All right. Then we got consistency. One of the things that I'm really known for is consistency. I don't care what, once I make a decision, I'm going to keep doing it until the job is done. If it's every week. So I actually plan, and the people that know me, a year in advance. So in May timeframe, because I follow a different calendar that starts in July, right? May timeframe, I start lining things out that didn't work the last time well. And I start scheduling everything for the next year. And once I sign off on that schedule for the next year, that's the schedule. So I change very little, but I already have had a vision. I've already had a focus about what I'm going to do. So by the time I get there, there are challenges. I already thought on most of them. And the ones I didn't think of, they ain't going to stop me because I got a whole year that's going. You see? So this is what we are doing, that to accomplish in difficult time. You're going to need to learn some new skills. So you're going to have to be coachable. This ain't no time to be a know-it-all. I say, let me show you what I did 10 years ago. Let me show you what I made. That ain't what that is. All right. You sit and be a student now and master the new skill. Commitment, right? Doing what you said you was going to do long after the mood has left you is a good gauge for commitment. Competency, you're going to have to get some new skills. Okay. In the difficult time, you're going to have to get some new skills. If you're trying to go through difficult time with the old skills, you're going to struggle more than likely. You're going to meet resistance because it's a new time. It calls for a new attitude, etc. Okay. Right. And then consistency. That's where that discipline comes in. 226. The consistency is what's going to be your meal ticket. That's what's going to get people to take you serious. I say, one thing I know is that so-and-so is always going to be doing XYZ. And they'll follow you if you're consistent. You ain't got to be perfect, but they'll follow you if you're consistent. All right, so these are some things, right? Attitude is everything. ATTITUDE adds up to 100%. So you got to have the right attitude in down times. Right? Let me give you an idea what your attitude is. So you got to have a winning attitude, right? You got to be thinking about, right? I'll tell you if you got a winning attitude or not, all right? Do you think more about what you see yourself, what you see happening, or do you think more about what you fear happening? See, if you think more about fear, then you're going to have a losing attitude and you're going to more than likely lose. Or you're going to temporarily win and lose after that. You see? Choose your logic over your fear. If you're afraid of what's going to happen next, you ain't going to beat the person next to you that's focused on winning. That's just the world we live in. Okay? So you have to be able to do what I'm talking about if you want to accomplish in difficult times. Or the opposite of accomplishing in difficult times is going to be complaining, blaming. Well, you see, what had happened was, before it got difficult, I was supposed to go to medical school. Listen, none of that matters. Right now, it's time for you to develop the right attitude. What does it look like? I'm going to tell you. Something big is going to happen today. And you start getting your mind to focus on, well, where is it? Well, what's happening? Wait a minute. Something big is going to happen. You start saying it and you start asking the question yourself. Dang, something big going to happen. Well, what is it? Where is it? So you asking the right question, right? So you empower the mind when you ask a question versus give it a command. I ain't good at this. Things like this never work out for me. That ain't my sweet spot. I always seem to get disqualified. Always something seems to happen when I'm in line for something like this. Wrong attitude. Something big is gonna happen. today. And even if you start saying this right now, you don't know the day ain't over yet, right? So you can start saying it right now to get your mind geared to, or you're going to say, man, nothing never works for me. Okay. Well, your subconscious mind is real quick to produce that. That's easy. Oh man, I ain't got to do no work. But what you want to do is we're getting subconscious. Our attitude has to permeate the subconscious and get the subconscious to say, hold on a second. What you mean something big is about to happen? Oh, they excited too. They keep saying it. Okay, well, dang, maybe I might need to make something big happen because they just ain't gonna let it go. And then you start positioning yourself. Things start coming to you that never came to you before because you had a different attitude. Versus now that this individual is in office, we ain't gonna never be able to do this. We ain't gonna never do that. We're gonna do it bigger than ever before. That's having the right attitude. Because how can somebody evolve and then somebody else in their reality control my reality? Only way is if I allow them. Right? But if the unlimited power of God is in me, tell me how a mortal can come and control the power of God in me so that I can't accomplish. You see? So the attitude has to be with the divine. The attitude has to be with the unlimited power in you. That's what's 100. People put 100 in the chat. That's what 100. What's 100 is the unlimited power of God in you. And so when you start there and say, let's go accomplish in these difficult times, I got a secret for you. Now the times are not going to seem like they're difficult because the attitude and the skill set and the competency and the consistency makes what's difficult easy because we're mastering ourselves and mastering it in the process. I want you to hope that it's difficult so that you can be able to put the screws in the full court press on it. I need a new challenge. When was the last time you did something for the first time? And so that's a sign of growth. Don't be scratching your head. Oh, let me see. When was the last time he said that kind of fast? I'm going to have to get them to repeat that in the chat because I'm kind of thinking about it. I'm thinking about it, Neb. When was the last time you did something for the first time? Because you got to try something new. That's how we grow and evolve. And so difficult times going to force your hand in trying something new. So if you're afraid to try something new, you're going to struggle in difficult times. Okay? I'm just talking real to you. We got people on IG, Facebook. Listen, some of this stuff people know, but listen, it's not what we know, right? It's not that we don't know what to do. Everybody knows what to do. We just don't do what we know. And sometimes we need that extra thrust to do what it is that we know. So your attitude is everything is 100%. Yes? So don't be walking around pissing and moaning, talking about this ain't working and that ain't working. And I can't believe so-and-so didn't do this and so-and-so doing that. What did you do? And you just keep focusing on what you got to do. And you're going to move everything else out the way and you're going to get to your goal. All you're going to do is get distracted every time you complain about something that ain't going in your favor. Stay focused. And then when you get to accomplish what you wanted to accomplish, then you can look at it, man, woo, boy, it's still good over here. Now, so-and-so, now they done try to cut me off at the pass, but I'm here now. It can't stop you because you're already there. Then you can talk and help coach and advise and inspire other people that's having a difficult time in difficult times to move a little bit different so they can win too. And that's when life is a lot of fun. Right? So your spirituality is another factor. Let me tell you, spirituality is cliche-ish now in terms of how people use it. But the Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of God is going to put you in a position of strength But let me tell you, let me tell you, let me talk to you. We don't know how to commune with spirit. Remember, I was talking about evolutionary communications? The spirit speaks to your heart through intuition. So we got people that don't listen to their intuition. So it's hard to follow instructions, divine instructions, when we can't listen to a divinity. Like when we don't follow instructions, that means when divinity speaks to us, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you one of the biggest discoveries I made about how many of y'all heard ask and it shall be given? I mean, y'all heard that saying before, ask and it shall be given. And we get excited. We like, yes, all you got to ask, closed mouths don't get fed and all this kind of stuff. And that's great. But you know what? I asked one time about asking and I said, wait a minute. When I ask and it shall be given, what is it? What is it that is given to me? Am I given what I'm asked for when I ask for it? More than likely not. But let me tell you what you do get. Instructions on how to get it. When you ask, look for the instructions and get good at following divine instructions and hearing with the intuition with the ear in your heart and being bold and having primal trust and saying, listen, I'm going to follow these instructions no matter what. It came from your heart. Now, if it comes from your headspace, it might be a little clever, right? Your mind is very clever, but your heart, right, is solid. Even if it's been contaminated, right, from your behavior, judgment, your heart, the spirit still speaks to the heart first. And it's interesting. I've heard that the heart developed before the brain did. So what'd that tell you? The heart, right? The key to changing your mind is changing your heart. What are you going to change in your heart? The judgment that you have for yourself and others. Nobody beats you up like you do. Nobody. Right? Nobody gets that authority to beat you up like how you beat yourself up. You got to stop beating yourself up because you're judging yourself. Right? And then that's going to put you in a certain frequency. The reason why your spirituality is so important, because there's nothing but illusions out here. And when your spirituality is not intact, when your cosmology, spirituality is not intact, let me tell you, them illusions are going to seem real. And they're going to dominate your thought process. They're going to tell you, you ain't going to be able to do it. And they're going to logically show you that you ain't going to be able to do it. Your spirituality defies logic. You see? And so you have to be able to listen. And when you take the word listen, it has the same letters that silent has in it. Silence. Right? Listen and silent. Right? So now you have to understand that if you want to accomplish, and there's some good reasons why you want to accomplish. How about you tired of being in the position that you're in? How about you tired of making excuses about why you ain't got no money? How about, hey, I'm tired of not taking care of my health. I mean, because I can get in my, you see? Oh, how about I can't find no companions of destiny because now there's something wrong with you now. You can't get along with nobody. You're trying to make everybody fit into your box. Your box ain't big enough. You got to expand your territory. That's what the prayer of Jabez. Lord, expand my territory. People talk about land. I'm talking about your mind. I'm talking about evolving. So your spiritual system has to be intact in difficult times, or you're going to fold up like a box. Because when you're in spirit, nothing goes wrong. Ashe? So these are things that you need to equip yourself with in these difficult times. Now there's more, But this is at least a start, yes? It seems simple, the 4 C's, but you'll be surprised at all the know-it-alls. And you know what I figured out? The know-it-alls all ain't got no money. The know-it-alls, when it comes to relationship, they ain't in no relationship, or they in one that they don't want to be in. The know-it-alls, they overweight, they unhealthy, but they're trying to teach you about health. So I'm not stepping on nobody's toes, even though it might feel like it. But I'm trying to say, you put your ego on the shelf and be coachable so you can effectuate the change that you want in your life. It sounds simple, but if you used to be in something else, if you are used to be, you ain't gonna cut it in the new time. Your attitude, even if it looks bad, look for the good in it, because that's how you're gonna get the skills. When I'm talking about skills, I'm not talking about AI skills or technical skills. I'm talking about the skills of ingenuity, of figuring something out. I'm talking about critical thinking skills to be able to, hey, not just think outside the box, that there is no box. That's what I'm talking about. Competency and skill. That's what you got to get good at, right? You got to get good at managing your emotions. You got to get good at disciplining your disappointment so that you don't get off track. And then your spirituality, you got to know when you're in alignment with the spirit, nothing goes wrong, that there's a spiritual solution to everything that's going on that apparently goes on outside of you. And you got to listen with the ear in your heart to that intuition. And let me tell you this. Now, most of you not going to do it. I know that sounds negative, but I just know people, right? And let me tell you why most of you not going to do it. Because it don't sound like it's going to work, right? But let me tell you why it don't sound like it's going to work. You ready? Intuition is speaking to you from a higher level of consciousness than the one you operating on. And it's trying to get you to upgrade to that level. So it don't seem like it's going to work the way that can't. You mean all I got to do is X, Y, Z? And what happens is your ego and your conscious mind going to talk you out of it. So if you heard from God, if you heard from the God in you, if you heard it in your heart, in the spirit, then you hold it and you ask questions. What's the assignment? What's the instructions? Okay. All right. Okay. Whoa. Hold on. Back up. Let me, hold on. Let me, okay. I can't take no screenshot, but I can write. Hold on. So do this first. Okay. I got it. This many times. Got it. Okay. What'd you say? Okay. Not on this day, but this. Okay. I got it. And don't add nothing and don't take nothing away. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You are going to not only accomplish, you're going to have long-term success beyond your wildest dreams. And I know this for a fact because I've had to do this in this cosmology. What I'm teaching in this cosmology, I was never trained for. I wasn't trained to teach people telepathy. I wasn't trained to teach people about their whole mind. I was a business person. So I had to follow the intuition and the instructions. I didn't have a teacher that spoon-fed me and said, do this first and that. My teacher was my intuition from the Spirit of God in me. And that's why we're here right now with me sharing this knowledge with you. And it's not just privy to me. I want to show you how to awaken it within yourself. And if it is woke, I want it to be all the way woke. And then you cannot fail. So your spirituality is the last piece. You got to get some think time in here. And you can't have your think time interrupted because you got to have clarity in the prayer that we do. We have what we call the prayer of the 7 galactic directions. I love this. And I sit there. Sometimes I just think about the prayer. From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us so we may see all things in clarity. The wisdom's dawning in us like the sun that's rising, that appears to be rising in daylight. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us so we may know all, that's everything, from within. I mean, I ain't got to worry about asking somebody else. I'm going to ask me. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action. So now you got to do something. Wisdom may be, right, transformed into right action so we may do what must be done. Not what coulda, woulda, shoulda, what must be done for us to accomplish. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest. So now that you took the right action, here is the harvest. You planted the seed the right way. You didn't get impatient with it and say, it ain't growing fast enough. Let me dig it up and see if it's the right seed. You leave it alone and let nature and the universe do its part because you did your part. You planted the seed. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. They see the harvest and they want to bless you more. Bliss you more, whatever you want to say, is more and more and more. What is it more of? Abundance that you're accessing. And abundance doesn't have no respect to persons. It's happening everywhere. It's just if we ain't accessing it the way we think, we blocking it somehow. Right? From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with the harmonies that end all war. What war are we talking about? The war, the internal war, the conflict between the heart and the mind. Got to be on one accord. And divinity knows how to unify them both. From the center of the galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything, that's all things, be known as the light of mutual love. All hail the harmony of mind and nature. You say that prayer before you go into a meeting. I need clarity. I need to know that I got all the answers from within. I know I'm willing to transform and do what must be done. I'm ready and prepared for the harvest. It's not just about doing something for a second and getting something big. It's about being this way your entire life. So I want to invite you tomorrow to a very special session by one of the Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment's best, and that is Moon Goddess Ambrosia. She facilitates getting familiar with this galactic consciousness and your expression of the creator that you were born into, which holds your what? Galactic purpose for being on Earth. So we figured out our earthly purpose through a job. Now I'm talking about your galactic purpose that brought you to Earth. Don't you think you need to know that? If you know what your galactic purpose, you might be walking and talking different on the planet. You might see yourself different on the planet versus being expendable. And I gotta get all this. I ain't got enough time. We gotta know time is the evolution of consciousness, not what was created in the artificial construct to get us to expire instead of inspire. Right? So join us tomorrow night. If you have any questions, you can message me to make sure you have the link. She's going to knock it out the park. Okay? It's going down tomorrow, I guarantee you. All right? And then this Sunday, I want to invite all of you to The Magic of Manifesting Produces Art. Okay? We're going to be doing that Sunday at 10:30. This is going to be a phenomenal session. So you're welcome to join us to kind of come kick the tires and see if you like this vibe, you're going to like that more. You ain't gonna know everything because we're talking another language, but you're gonna want to get to know everything, because why wouldn't we want to evolve? What program can make us think to choose fear over logic and say, I don't want to evolve? So yeah, screenshot it. Definitely screenshot it. And you all are welcome, and we all evolving together. We're unified on one premise. It's not race, it's not, it is the premise of evolution, because that's what's going to get things done, right? Religion, nah, yeah, we got conflicting views about religion, right? We got conflicting views. Okay, what about sports team? Nah, evolution is the one thing we can unify on and work towards together. All right. And I want you to mark your calendar for the 24th of March. We're going to do something called the 260 Expressions of the Creator Quantum Leap Meditation. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be at 8 p.m. on March the 24th. So what you want to do, we'll put the link in the chat for you to register your kin. Now, if you don't know your kin, you can do a request. What's my kin? And so we'll look up your birth date. You know, we don't need the time. We'll get your kin number and we'll send you some pertinent information to get you started. But you're going to need to do more than that if you want to access that power. Because what I love about the kin and the concepts that we teach, it helps move us from the information age into the telepathic age of our experience. So we're going to show this video at the end on the 260 Quantum Leap. It's going to be incredible. All right. And so also you can follow us on social media. I'm on IG at Neb_Taharka, X on at Neb Taharka, Facebook, Neb Taharka, Kanish Kawak, TikTok, The Synchronistic Human, and YouTube, The Synchronistic Human 441. So we just getting some of these things started, but we about to get it turned up. All right, so definitely follow us and comment, like, comment, and share, right? That's what they say, like, comment, and share. All right, so does anybody have any questions that they like to ask? Because I thought this was a very stimulating topic. And if you don't worry about it. Make sure you get my email. I love to see questions in my email and difficult questions. Give me the hardest ones, because when we make the hardest easy, we change our self-image to someone that makes difficult things easy versus things being difficult. Why do we have to take the time to even say they're difficult if we know we know what they have the intelligence to make it easy or easier, right? All right. So so with that being said, if there are no questions, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. And I love to end with the Declaration of Evolution. So if you feel comfortable, you're welcome to say this with us. By the way, if this really inspired you, you want to make a donation, you can, hit one of the links at PayPal or the links at PayPal. You can donate and say, send something our way. If it's something that, you think really inspired you and it's going to help you, there's nothing wrong with that. Right? Some people call it tithing. I like to give because I know that there's the other 90% got to come to me. So whatever I invest in myself or whatever I give, I already know that there's another 9. So if I give 100, I already know that 900 is coming from somewhere. And I just know that. So I just stay focused till I see, yep, here go that 900. I'm so glad that I, did X, Y, Z. My heart told me. All right. So declaration. Remember, I'm going to say I, and then you're going to hear me say your name. I'm going to say my name. Now, because I can't hear you, if you're going to participate, you're going to say your name. Hereby declare that I will, and then we're going to go through each line. Are you ready? Here we go. I say your name, Neb Taharka. Hereby declare that I will make evolution my #1 priority. That's a good thing. I say your name, Neb Taharka. Hereby declare that I will clear any karma associated with my existence once revealed. I say your name, Neb Taharka. Hereby declare that I will discover, carry out, and become my purpose. I say your name, Neb Taharka. Hereby declare that I will remove any judgments that I have of myself and others. I say your name, Neb Taharka. Hereby declare that I will end any cycles that do not support my evolutionary process. I say your name, Neb Taharka. Hereby declare that I will show compassion for all beings and all the species on the planet. I say your name, Neb Taharka. Hereby declare that I will be patient with my process and others going through their processes as well. I say your name, Neb Taharka. Hereby declare that I will be disciplined and focused when things get challenging, and they will get challenging. I say your name, Neb Taharka. Hereby declare that I will listen to my intuition and carry out its instructions when received. I say your name, Neb Taharka, hereby declare that I will ultimately strive for self-mastery. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. And so it is and will be. This has been a lot of fun, family. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Let's all evolve together, right? If you need to connect with me, you can hit me on social media. You can email me if you got any questions. And I always like to end by saying, and stay tuned for the video. In Lakesh means I'm another you. Alakin means you are another me. Hotep, Hetipu, and Namaste. And remember and never forget, evolution is the solution. Check out the video. Peace.